Everybody, and welcome back to Slowpoke Racing, home of the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Prop Up and Co. This is our BTCC Replica Championship, ran on a Thursday evening, and we're with the League 2 guys. Incidentally, if anybody wants to get involved in any of these races that the Ultimate Racing League has, and we do have lots, nearly every single night of the week and weekend, there is something happening. If you do want to get involved, just get in touch. We're on Facebook. It's the Ultimate Racing League. We are online, URL ultimateracingligue.co.uk, I believe. Yeah, .co.uk. Or you can just leave me a comment in the box below and I can get you in touch with admin and we can get you on track. We welcome drivers of all abilities. So, yeah, if you fancy it, give us a shout. Come on, and we can hopefully get you on track, and I could be watching you going around the track with these guys. We do GR3s, we do GR4s, 2s. There is a GR2 Tuesday. GR Tuesday. I think I can't pronounce that properly, can I? We have our Sunday league, popular league. We've got about 6 leagues running on a Sunday. So, yeah, if you want to get involved, please get in touch and we can get you on track. Okay, back to this race. We are still at Watkins Glen in USA. 2.45 miles of tarmac ahead of us and 7 turns. ICQW4, or as I like to call him, Bob. Convincing win in race 1. Absolutely untouchable. So, yeah, he started on pole position. Then we've got Stealth just behind him. Couldn't quite catch up. There was a bit of argy-bargy at the beginning of race 1, which allowed Bob to get away, and that was it. Then nobody could catch him, but good racing nevertheless from Stealth. Then we've got Silly Shot in 3rd. I think this should be a random grid if the races are the right way round. Yeah, so there we go. Carlsberg is 4th. Hodgie is 5th on the grid. Hoping for better things from him in this race. Not the best of race 1. Race 1 wasn't the best for him, but yeah, we know he can do better than that. Boyland in P6. He finished 3rd in race 1. And then Hawkeye in P7. Had some technical issues, I think, at the beginning of the race. Had to come into the pits, get the mechanics onto the car, but we think we've got it sorted out. So good to see Hawkeye back on track. And then Aussie Rooster in the Cosworth, Ford Cosworth at the back in P8. So let's get this race underway. The sun has come out with lovely blue skies, nice white fluffy clouds. So no rain. The crowd can see the car, we can see the cars. Let's just crack on, shall we? So we'll get them lights lit. Getting longer and longer, isn't it? Oh, what a start from Aussie Rooster. I was going to say we'll go with the guy at the back so we can see anything that's happening. And what a fantastic start from Aussie Rooster. That Sierra Cosworth took off like a scolded cat and has now moved himself up into P5. We're stuck with Hoyland in the drone cam at the minute, just to make sure everybody gets through with no dramas, and looks like as we go into the S's everybody's okay. So up to the top, and it is Bob already looking to open up a lead. He's got Hodgie in 2nd. This is better from Hodgie. Stealth challenging him though, so Stealth and Hodgie going side by side as they head towards the chicane for the first time in race 2. Now then, who's going to give it in? So Hodgie does, just backs out to let Stealth through. Sensible decision. Carlsberg in 4th, Silly Shot in 5th, then Aussie Rooster now down into 6th. Hoyland 7th with Hawkeye in 8th, but fighting hard against Hoyland. So come on, Hawkeye, just stick to his bumper and follow him around for a couple of laps. Get them tyres warmed up. Hawkeye on the soft tyres. So is Bob. Stealth, in fact, let's have a look. Well, Hoyland is the only one on the medium tyres. So in race 1, we had Hawkeye was the only one on mediums. Race 2, Hoyland is the only one on the mediums, so everybody else running the soft tyres. So for race 3, we're going to have 2 guys on the soft tyres and everybody else on the mediums, so that should be interesting. Bit of a fight going back here then. We've got Aussie Rooster in P6 with Hoyland and Hawkeye chasing him down, all just getting into a nice little train there as we start lap 2, as we go up through the S's. Let's see what's happening up at the top then. I am Bob out in front again with Stealth chasing him down. Hodgie just dropping off the pace a little bit but holding on to P3. He's got Carlsberg putting in a challenge as they get towards the chicane. Carlsberg gets himself up onto the inside Maybe that Mercedes just hasn't got the straight line speed, but he should be able to make up for it in the corners. I think that's what Hodgie's trying to do now then. Carlsberg, bit naughty across the chicane there and has picked up a 1 second penalty, so Hodgie will be smiling at that. He's got Silly Shot chasing him down, trying to get into that slipstream as they try and chase Carlsberg. Now, as I say, that Mercedes of Hodgie's might not have the straight line speed, but it should be okay through the corners. And you can see a very nice tight line there from Hodgie as we go around turn 6 into turn 7 then, to finish off lap 2 as we head towards the start finish line. And it is Carlsberg still carrying that 1 second penalty. Then Hodgie, Silly Shot just dropped off the back of Hodgie a little bit as he falls into the clutches of Hoyland and Aussie Rooster in 6 and 7, and then Hawkeye down in 8. Now then, what's happened to Hawkeye? Gone back, I don't know. Let's have a look, let's see. Was it the chicane then that has upset Hawkeye? Maybe he just got the chicane wrong. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, he got himself all sorts of wrong coming out the exit of the chicane, but managed to keep it away from the barriers, which is the main thing. So good car control from Hawkeye. He managed to catch that before it went off. It could have been a lot worse. Well, let's just drop back to where we were, or somewhere near anyway, as excuse me, Bob and Stealth really open up a gap back to Carlsberg. Carlsberg just about served his penalty, so through goes Hodgie up into P3. Silly Shot follows him and moves up into P4, Hoyland into P5, so Carlsberg losing 3 places there, and he's now come under a lot of attention from Aussie Rooster in that Cosworth as they go into the final turn at turn 7 to finish off lap 3. And Aussie Rooster had a bit of a sniff around the outside, but nothing doing there. Carlsberg says there's no way you're getting by me there, and blocks him there. So down towards turn 1 then is Aussie Rooster going to have a bit of a look. Hoyland in P5 as Carlsberg tries to go up the inside. Now then, that Aussie Rooster going for it again. Seems to have the acceleration, the Sierra Cosworth. Does seem to have the acceleration, but maybe the top end speed is not quite there. So if he's going to make a move on Carlsberg, he needs to do it as he comes out of one of the corners. Carlsberg making a move on Hoyland as we get towards the chicane. You do not want to be going too wide there as Hoyland. Oh, he goes across the grass. Carlsberg does as well. Now then, did Carlsberg try to avoid? Look, I'm going to go back a little bit further because I want to get the camera right for this one. As we go into the chicane, we can see Aussie Rooster there sniffing around in the background. He's not quite going to make the move. Carlsberg thinks about it, pulls out. Now then, Hoyland just goes too quick and across the grass, and I think, to be fair to Carlsberg, I think he thought Hoyland was going to come across and hit him, so he tried to give him quite a wide berth, and in doing so ended up on the grass himself. The big beneficiary of that little manoeuvre though was Aussie Rooster up to P5 now, and looking to open a gap between himself and Hoyland. Hoyland is going to have to serve that 1 second penalty on the next lap, so Carlsberg will be thinking, well, I'll just stick with him. I'm going to sit behind him, pick up a bit of slipstream. Oh, it's 1.5 seconds now for Hoyland. Well, I can't believe that the penalty's been dished out in this track. It's unbelievable. I don't know what the settings are. Must have gone really high. But Carlsberg in 7th with Hawkeye in 8th. Now then, come on Hawkeye, it is not that much of a gap. You can catch this up, especially when Hoyland serves his penalty as he's battling away with Aussie Rooster as they go up through the S's and through turn 4 onto the back straight, heading towards the chicane now and the inner loop, and it does look like Hoyland is going to get there first, but it will all be in vain actually, because when he serves that 1.5 second, Aussie and Carlsberg are both going to go by anyway. So Aussie just doesn't want to get too involved in this. You know, race, but don't battle hard. You are just going to ruin your own tyres. There we go. So Hoyland serves his penalty, and Carlsberg and Aussie Rooster both go flying by. Now then, Hawkeye, come on, you can catch him up. You can catch him up, Hawkeye. So we're rooting for you. Back up to the top. What a battle these two guys are having. Bob are doing everything he can to stay in front of Stealth. This is great stuff from Stealth. Getting a year older is obviously doing him the world of good. For those who didn't watch race 1, it was Stealth's birthday, I believe, yesterday, the day of the race. Sitting there in P2, and we're pleased with that. He got P2 in race 1, just behind Bob, and the same thing seems to be happening in this race as well. So these two, looks like the battle is going to rage on all the way to the end of this race. We are fast approaching the halfway mark in race 2, both on the soft tyres, although Stealth does look like he's burning through his front left tyre just a little bit more than Bob is. So what we're looking at, probably a couple of car lengths gap between the two of them at the minute. Let's just go down. Hodgie still holding on to P3. This is much better from Hodgie, and he'll be relieved at that, as well as Silly Shot serves a penalty. So a big sigh there from Hodgie. He can just relax, gather his thoughts now while the pressure's not on, but I'm sure it's not going to stay like that for long, as Silly Shot really is pushing the limits of this track. So Silly Shot trying to get back on after Hodgie again. Hodgie up into P3 and stay in there. Let's try and get a gauge of this gap as Carlsberg goes flying by Silly Shot. So Carlsberg now up into P4, although Silly Shot, these two just taking off where they finished in race 1 actually. It was Silly Shot and Carlsberg fighting all the way through the race, and it looks like they're doing it again as they go side by side through the S's at turns 3 and 4. And then on to that back straight. Silly Shot just seems to have a little bit more pace through the corners as they head towards that chicane. Carlsberg will slot in behind him. He's not going to make a move on him there. And that is a great line from Silly Shot through that chicane onto the outer loop at turn 5, which is now a long sweeping right-hander. Don't turn left as you would on the bigger track. And I'm glad to see nobody's actually done that. Very easy to do. As Carlsberg puts the pressure on Silly Shot. Do you know what? Let's, I'm just thinking about going on board with somebody. Let's have a look. We'll go on board with Bob. We'll go on board with our leader. We've got Stealth chasing us, but we go across the start-finish line heading towards turn 1, which is called the 90. Don't let the car drift too far out there on the left. As long as you keep at least your inside tyres on the yellow and red, then you're going to be okay. Then we're into turn 2, which is the start of the S's. As we climb the hill through turn 3, then turn 4, it is flat out all the way through here, which takes us now onto the back straight, heading towards the chicane. We've got the inner and the outer loop. You can see Stealth just having a bit of a look there, but he's not going to make a move, is he, into the chicane. Into the chicane we go then, and then come out onto turn 5, which is the outer loop. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't turn left. And then we are on to this straight section now, all the way down towards turn 6. Good overtaking position, this one, if you can get into the slipstream. Then it's into the braking zone. Dab of the brakes as we go into turn 6. And then the final turn. Again, dab of the brakes, back on the power again. Get as close to that wall as you dare at turn 7. And then we are heading towards the start-finish line to complete the lap. So thank you to Bob for taking us round. Now let's just have a look and see where Stealth is. He is literally all over the back of Bob. The pressure that Bob is having to soak up is great. Stealth is just not letting up, is he? He's just not giving Bob any breathing space at all. These two, though, look at the gap they have opened up back to, at the minute, Carlsberg, and I'll say it at the minute because he keeps chopping and changing. Hoyland's now decided to join in this little party, and Hoyland is on the medium tyres as well. So Hoyland sniffing around there looking for a podium spot with the medium tyres on. He's now getting boxed in. It's almost like one of those police manoeuvres there. You got one in front, one at the side. So Hoyland with nowhere really to go as Carlsberg hits the chicane first. Silly Shot is on the inside, but oh, now then, there was a bit of contact. I think there was nothing intentional, but let's have another look, shall I'm going to go back so I can get the right camera. Excuse me. It is a great battle. You can see the manoeuvre being made there as Silly Shot goes to the outside of Hoyland. Carlsberg defending, he's hugging that inside line, so he's going to get to the chicane first. Silly shot, I think he just got a little bit caught out with Hoyland's early braking, and he just caught the back of Hoyland's car, but Hoyland managed to save it. Silly shot, I think, backed out to allow Hoyland to carry on through, but in doing so has allowed Hawkeye up there, so come on Hawkeye. Hawkeye now up into P5, Silly shot in P6, Aussie in P7. Hodgie, what has happened to Hodgie? Oh, I can't go back any further. Sorry guys, can't go back any further. Hodgie was up into P3 and looking good for a podium finish, and I was looking, I thought he'd left. He's down in P8, so something's happened to Hodgie. Really sorry we've missed that. Down in P8, what an absolute shame for Hodgie. He was having such a good race as well. Up at the top. Well, yeah, I'm more annoyed we've missed that really for Hodgie, but well, that's the way it goes. Bob still leading this race, has done from the start. Stealth in second, not letting him get away from him. Then we've got Carlsberg. This is where the fighting is all happening. Carlsberg in P3 at the minute, Hoyland in P4, but he's got a 1 second penalty, and I think that's where he went off at the chicane. Oh, Carlsberg's gone off. Carlsberg, not for the first time either. Carlsberg has found himself on the grass coming out of the chicane. Now he seemed a little hesitant going in. Well, do you know, he just forgot to turn the wheel, didn't he? Not quite sure what's happened there, whether it was a disconnect or lapse of concentration. Oh, and now he's decided to wreck everywhere now. Or was that silly shot? One of them just sent cones and billboards everywhere. But let's have a look and see the positions they're in. Hawkeye, come on Hawkeye! Hawkeye up into P3, come on! We have one, let's have a look at the time. We've got 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes for Hawkeye to finish this race on the podium. This is what I want to see. I'm rooting for Hawkeye. Get that champagne ready for him. Hawkeye in P3, Hoyland in P4 on those medium tyres. Carlsberg in P5 after that little mistake where he's gone across the grass as coming out of the chicane. Then we've got Silly Shot in P6 with Aussie in 7th, and Hodgie, gee, he's catching up. Hodgie, he is making grounds on Aussie Rooster and Silly Shot. So Hodgie, come on, you've a minute and a half to go. You can get onto the back of these guys. Let's just have a look and see what's happening up at the chicane. Oh, and Hoyland has got through to Hoyland. Got the move done before they go to the chicane, and that's put Hawkeye down into P4, and he's now going to come under attack from Carlsberg and Silly Shot as they go around turn 5. We are fast approaching the 14th minute, trying to avoid all the cones and debris all over the track that was put there. A lap will go. Hawkeye still holding on to P4, Carlsberg in 5th, then Silly Shot as they go around the final turn then. Heading towards that start-finish line for the last time in race 2. Wow, this is great stuff. Look at this, we've got 4 cars in contention here. Hoyland holding on to that P3 at the minute, but it could be any one of these 4 guys that can finish on the podium. I think P1 and 2 are pretty much secure. It is P3 that these guys are fighting for, and at the minute Hoyland is holding on to it. He's on the medium tyres as well, so even better against the guys on the softs, although the guys on the soft tyres, those tyres really are starting to hurt now, especially the front left. Hoyland leads this little group up towards the chicane for the final time in race 2. Hawkeye in P4, come on, we'll take that. We'll take that, Hawkeye, after the disaster that you had in race 1. Oh, hold on to it! He's almost drifting through the chicane. Fantastic. Car control. I've got to go back up to the top because Bob is coming around turn 1 for the second time in this week's race. He will take the checkered flag. A flash of the lights from him. That's what we like to see. Stealth across the line in second. Well done to those 2 guys. It looks like Hoyland He's going to take that third podium spot as they come around the final turn, and he does so. Hoyland goes across the line, but look at this, Hawkeye in P4, well done to him. Carlsberg in 5th, Silly Shot across the line in 6th, Aussie takes 7th, and Paul Hodgie takes P8. We're not quite sure what happened to Hodgie, obviously a big off. Wow. So Hawkeye couldn't quite get onto the podium, but a brilliant effort nevertheless to get himself onto P4. Well done to Bob, well done to Stealth, and well done to Hoyland as well on those medium tyres. I will be back in a few minutes with race 3, the final race of this round. Catch you all soon.